Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now on Monday Night Football, like we told you, the Jaguars beat the Chiefs 31-28.
Dropping the clues bomb for the Jaguars. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan all day. I don't root for other teams. I just like to see the Kansas City Chiefs lose.
Jesus.
I really, truly do.
Why so much? What they
it
did to
warms
you?
my cold heart.
Is it Taylor Swift?
It's just, there's a lot of mayonnaise. A lot of mayonnaise in that potato salad. A lot of it.
All right, well, good morning, Mimi.
Good morning, Envy. Good morning, Charlamagne. How you doing this morning?
Mimi.
Good.
Good. All right. So as the government shutdown drags into its second week, thousands of air traffic controllers are being told to keep working, even though they are not getting paid. Their union says skipping a shift or calling out sick could mean getting fired, but call-outs are already rising as frustration and financial strain are setting in. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, he stopped by Newark Airport yesterday, delivering pizzas to air traffic controllers still on the job and admitting that pressure is mounting. Let's listen to what he had to say.
And so now what they think about as they're controlling our airspace is, how am I going to pay my mortgage? How do I make my car payment? I have a couple kids at home. How do I put food on the table? I'm working 6 days a week. Do I have to take a second job and drive Uber when I'm already exhausted from doing a job that's already stressful, to think about how I can make extra money because the government may not provide me a paycheck? This shutdown has put way more stress on our controllers at a time when they're already working on equipment from the 1960s, 1980s, 1990s. We asked them to do their jobs on equipment that has not been state-of-the-art.
That's crazy.
That is really crazy. Equipment from the 60s, 80s, and 90s. That leaves more questions than answers right there as well. But more than 11,000 FAA employees, roughly a quarter of the agency's workforce, they have been furloughed, while 13,000 controllers are still required to report for duty to keep the planes moving safely. And for travelers, the ripple effects are starting to show. Longer TSA lines are being reported at several major airports as more agents do call out sick, and even minor staffing gaps are now causing major delays. Here in California, Burbank Airport had no traffic controllers on duty for nearly 6 hours yesterday, forcing flight diversions and delays. Governor Gavin Newsom, he vented about that on X, writing, Burbank Airport has 0 air traffic controllers from 4:15 to 10 p.m. today because of your government shutdown. We're assuming he is talking about President Trump. Meanwhile, flight refund requests, consumer complaints, lost luggage claims are piling up because offices that handled that are closed. FAA inspectors have also been furloughed, meaning fewer routine checks on planes and repairs. So just a growing reminder that the shutdown isn't just a Washington problem. It's touching Americans both on the ground and in the air.
So imagine them saying there was no air traffic controllers in Burbank for 6 hours.
That's crazy. But I wonder if all the TSA members, employees, and all air traffic controllers just say, you know what, we're not coming to work Wednesday, right? It would almost force to get things done a lot faster, right? Because if nobody comes to work, that means there's no flights taking off. That means you can't go anywhere. That means there is no money. And I really think they care more about big business than the actual average people. So I wonder if that would force things to move a lot faster.
I doubt it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that's why the transportation secretary had that press conference yesterday, because he was basically saying, if you do that, we're going to fire you, and we'll just find somebody else to take your place.
But you're not going to pay me. But you want me to work, but you're not going to pay me.
Exactly. So you kind of got to pick one.
And I don't know who will want to apply for a job like that if they already not paying. So we are going to find more people to work.
Yeah, well, and the chaos in the skies, it's all tracing back to, of course, the gridlock in Washington, where lawmakers can't agree on how to reopen the government. Yesterday, Senate Democrats, they once again blocked Republicans, their so-called clean funding bill. It's the 5th failed vote in just 7 days. So that final count was 52-42. They are just short of the 60 votes that they needed to move forward. The bill already passed by the House would have kept the government running until late November. November. Democrats, of course, they're refusing to go along with a vote until the Affordable Care Act subsidies and tax credits, those are the tax credits that help millions of Americans afford their health insurance premiums, which are set to expire at the end of the year. And now some Republicans are sounding the alarms. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, she said on X that while she's not backing the Democratic plan, she did urge her party to address the expiring Obamacare credits, warning that insurance premium for her own children will double if the credits expire. And so Americans, they are fed up. A new national poll finds 70% of voters oppose the shutdown. More than half blame Republicans, while most want Democrats, honestly, to just accept a short-term deal to keep the government open. Most people just want to get back to work. And perhaps the most telling about all of this is 62% believe that Republicans will ultimately win this showdown about the shutdown.
I tell you one thing, on October 15th, the 1.3 million members in the armed services are supposed to get paid. You let them miss that paycheck, okay? You miss that paycheck, it might not be worth the political cost for either party.
Wow.
Exactly. Right. So we'll continue to watch that. All right, y'all. Well, coming up at 7, a popular app is rolling out a new feature today, and I'll tell you why some users say they feel like they are being watched.
Another one. Okay, Mimi. Okay.
Girl, another one.
All right. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, on Monday Night Football, the Jaguars beat the Chiefs 31-28.
Good job, Jaguars. I'm not no Jaguars fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I just like to see the Kansas City Chiefs lose.
Why? Why so much hate for the Chiefs?
There's a lot of mayonnaise in that potato salad, you know what I'm saying, with a sprinkle of raisins. Was Taylor Swift at the game last night? I heard she was at the game last night.
I seen Duval post something, but he might have been playing.
Yeah, I don't know if he was playing.
Yeah, I
meant to ask him. I don't know if she was really there. I don't think she would go to Jacksonville.
Damn.
Yo, you know Taylor Swift sold 3 million records?
Yes.
No.
In like 1 week, right?
In, like,
a week and a half.
In a day. He said like 2.5 million in a day.
When? She just dropped the album or something?
Yeah, Friday.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's what's up.
And she didn't do like no press or nothing like that, right?
Never.
She did her boyfriend podcast.
That's it. Damn, okay. Taylor.
I think she called in the Elvis. I think she did call in the Elvis show. Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning, Envy. Hi, Jess.
Hey, girl.
Good morning, Charlamagne.
Peace, Mimi.
All right, so we start this hour in the Oval Office where President Donald Trump made news on 2 fronts yesterday, weighing in on the unrest in U.S. cities and the high-profile case of Ghislaine Maxwell, that's Jeffrey Epstein's long associate. So Trump said that he is weighing whether or not to use the Insurrection Act, a centuries-old law that allows presidents to deploy the military for domestic law enforcement. Now, if he were to invoke the law, it would allow him to bypass the judges and governors who've been blocking his troop deployments into several U.S. cities. Let's listen to what he had to say about that.
But we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed. We have to make sure that our cities are safe.
Why didn't he use the Insurrection Act during the actual insurrection on January 6, 2021?
Exactly. That's the question everybody's been asking, actually. So the Insurrection Act of 1807, it hasn't been used since 1992, since the Los Angeles riots. Now, Trump said he would consider invoking it if state and local officials continue to block his plans to send in the National Guard to cities like Portland and Chicago, which we've been talking about. And his ally, Steve Bannon, is encouraging him to do so, saying it's time to, quote, put governors like Gavin Newsom and J.B. Pritzker in their place. But this wasn't the only unrest making headlines yesterday in the Oval Office. During that same appearance, Trump was asked whether he'd consider pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell after the Supreme Court rejected her final appeal. Let's listen to what he had to say about that.
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'd have to ask DOJ.
He gonna pardon both of them.
But listen, he is really the best at double talk, man. He will he
Listen.
can literally sit in front of anybody and tell them exactly what he wants what they want to hear. He literally goes, he said, I'm not going to consider it, but I haven't considered it. I don't know whether to consider it, but I don't know if I'm going to consider it. Like, what?
I don't even know the story.
I don't even know the story.
Right.
Like, what?
He gonna pardon both of them. I'm telling you. That's what it seems
I don't
like.
think so.
You don't think so?
Well, listen, there's absolutely zero reason to pardon a woman who is in federal prison for helping Jeffrey Epstein exploit underage girls. If Donald Trump pardons her, that's the president of the United States publicly endorsing sex crimes against children. Period. And if that was to happen, everyone, including his base, should never stop talking about the Epstein files. But it also shows people that President Trump doesn't take sexual exploitation of minors seriously. And the fact that he's even flirting with pardoning her shows he doesn't take it seriously.
He gonna pardon her. If not, he gonna pardon her on the day he about to leave. But I think he gonna pardon her. And I think
What you mean the day he about to leave? That's 3 years from now.
Well, he gonna pardon her in 3 years.
I don't believe that.
I mean, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison, so it's very possible, Envy, that she could definitely get a pardon in 3 years because 20. So we'll see. But you're right, Charlamagne, because he was a sentence. She was a sentence for abusing or helping to abuse young girls. So we'll see what happens. But this is not the first time that Trump has opened that door to giving her a pardon. So
if you're trying to make people forget about the Epstein files, pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell is not going to help with that in no way, shape, or form.
At all. All right, well, after a week filled with headlines about power and control, there's another battle over who gets to decide what we see, what we learn, and what we read. So it is Banned Books Week, which means schools and libraries across the country are shining a light on stories that are being silenced. According to PEN America, nearly 7,000 book bans were enacted last year, most of them in Florida, Texas, and Tennessee. And so when you look at what books are making this list, you might be surprised. These are among the top 10 most banned books in America. And Charlamagne, we're going to start with one that is your favorite. I'm talking about Judy Blume's Forever.
Classic.
Yes, that is on the banned books list. It's they said that it's banned for explicit content. So,
but that's what I be saying when it comes to like stuff like brand safety. Like, brand safety is subjective. That's why, advertisers need to move away from brand safety, because why the hell is Judy Blume Forever on the banned books list? Who says Judy Blume Forever isn't safe?
Well, what is the book about? Why is it on?
It's about teenage sexuality.
It's a coming of age story about first love, and it was written all the way back in 1975, Jess. So it's been literally like 50 years, and they're still challenging this book.
Yeah, it's just about teenage sexuality. It's the show that Mara Brocker Kill did is based off Judy Blume's Forever.
Okay, so it's a book about that. Okay, and they banned it.
It's a book about that. All right, and so this next one too is something that I think everyone would know. It's Wicked by Gregory Maguire. It's the book behind the Broadway hit series that reimagines The Wizard of Oz through the eyes of the so-called villain. Critics say it's too mature for schools, so that is also on the banned books list.
What?
Wicked?
That's crazy.
Yes.
My daughter is 9. Well, she's 10 now, and I took her to see Wicked when they were 9 and 3 in theaters, and took them to see the Broadway play when they were 9 and 3.
Bro, I took my 3-year-old, my 8-year-old like a month ago.
Exactly.
And they enjoyed it.
And when I was in elementary school, we had a field trip to come to New York to see it on Broadway. We had to read the book, and we had to do a report on it. Not in elementary school, and we came to see it in elementary school, but in middle school,
What?
You don't think they got buses in Baltimore?
Right, here's a clown, y'all. Here's a clown.
I didn't say nothing like that.
And then when I got to middle school, we had to read the book and do a report on it. How is it too mature? I don't understand.
Exactly. And Wicked is it literally takes a classic fairy tale and it flips it, and it makes you think, like, who should be called good or evil. And it just makes you think. I don't understand. And so finally, the last book that we're going to talk about is called Last Night at the Telegraph Club. It is by Melinda Lowe. It's a book talk favorite. It went viral on TikTok. It's set in the 1950s in San Francisco, and it's been banned because of its LGBTQ theme. So.
I never read that one. Yeah, I'm familiar with. I'm definitely familiar with Forever and Wicked. I ain't never even heard of Last Night at the Telegraph Club.
Yeah. So it's very popular. Apparently, again, it went viral on TikTok, and so polls show that most Americans disagree with these bans. 71% say that they oppose books being removed from schools and libraries. And if you want to see a full list, you can go to pen.org/banned. So there's about 7,000 books there. So those were just like in the top 10 3 of the top 10 books. And so also, you guys, have you ever talked about something near your phone and then 5 minutes later you saw an ad for it on Instagram?
Girl, yeah,
Every day?
and listen, I could
All
be
the time.
thinking about something and see it. No, not even just talking. When you think about something, it pops up on your phone. Yes.
That is what everyone is saying. And so Instagram CEO, he put out a video yesterday, and this is what he had to say. Let's take a listen.
We do not listen to you. We do not use the phone's microphone to eavesdrop on you. Now, first of all, if we did, it would be a gross violation of privacy. You would drain your phone's battery and you would notice, and you would actually see a little light on the top of the screen letting you know that the microphone was on.
Yeah, so he lying. I don't care.
That's-
I don't care what nobody say. He's lying. Yes, y'all are listening. Those front cameras be on, y'all watching. I don't care. It's been like that for years. There's no way. What other explanation would we have to see exactly what we've been talking about and thinking about 5 minutes later?
So if
in
you
our
know they
phones?
watching, do you put on a show or do you just leave?
Period.
Okay.
I perform every day. so performing every day.
No, I'm with you, Jess. But starting today, Instagram will begin notifying users about an AI-powered feature that's going to shape what shows up in your feed from ads to suggested photos. So this new tool will start using your chat activity, your likes, your search behavior to personalize your recommendations even more. So as we just heard, Instagram says they are not eavesdropping. They say it is your algorithm. They say they partner with advertisers who share data about the sites that you visit, the videos that you watch, and the posts that you engage with. So in other words, if you click on a shoe ad or you follow a fitness page, expect to see more of that. But like you just said, a lot of people are not convinced, especially with this new AI assistant that's rolling out. It's going to be tracking your preferences. So it's just being rolled out today, but by December 16th, the idea is that Instagram will be able to maybe watch the chats in your DM, and your discovery page will look a lot like what you've been writing, videos you've been sending friends, all of those different things.
That's
So
even weird. Like, that's
even
even
worse,
more weird.
actually.
So his statement
Yes.
was definitely unnecessary. We didn't even need it.
Yeah, I will say there's algorithms that make me not even want to be on my phone anymore. And the reason I say that is because the beauty of social media used to be discovering all of these different things.
Right.
But if you're just sending me a bunch of UFO videos, because I watch UFO videos, I get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it sounds like they're going to tailor that even more, Charlamagne, to those likes and those preferences.
So it's about to be big aliens on your explore page.
That's good. But I'm not going to care because I'm not going to be on there.
Yeah, let's see, do that too. All right, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more stories, follow Black Information Network and download the iHeartRadio app or visit BINnews.com.
All right.
Mimi.
Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you. Bye.
Hold up. Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?